Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We return once more with the Virtual World Sportscar Championship. This time, it's from the 1964 version of Spa-Francorchamps. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be here guiding you through all the action with one Mr. Bradley Dalton. And then, of course, we've got the voice in my ear, Mr. Paul Glover. Will be on the cameras in the background. Let's take a look at the calendar here for today. We are at Spa, 250 kilometers of Spa before we go to the 2.4 hours of Le Mans. That would do that on the 4th of May. And then we go to Reims on the 6th of July for 1.2 hours of there. Coppa Carota Hill Climb on the 27th of July. That's going to be an exciting one. Coppa Diana for 65 laps on the 10th of August. Then we go to Goodwood the week after on the 17th of August. Then we have a summer break right the way through to the 5th of October where we head to the Nürburgring. Then the 26th of October we go to Monza. 16th of November we go to Bridgehampton, and then Provence Alps Hill Climb is on the 30th. And then we round off the season in Paris for the 100 minutes there, and that is it for the season. The track itself, well, it's going to be an interesting one. They have got 9.31 miles of circuits here as well. You can see by the track map, there is no right left at Lacombe. It is a fast right, fast left-hander. It's not really the chicane of Lacombe that we know today. Marmady, completely different there as well. There's no Rivage, no Pouan, no name. There's nothing before we get down into Stavelot, but then you've got the run down what is traditionally known as Blanchimont. No bus stop. None. Not a thing. Here, it's a right, it's a left, and then it's straight down into La Source, but it's not the bus stop chicane, okay? So be aware of that one. We're going to head into the challenges. Well, watch the braking zones, stability at speed, and look out for the hay bales, because I can tell you now there is quite a few of them on the side of the circuit. There's also houses, there's people, there's fields, the animals, there's loads of things. I don't think we're going to see a deer across the side of the circuit though. That would be quite interesting if there was a deer jumping out as well. But look, I'm sure back in them days it was probably more than a possibility. So there we go on that one. Tyres itself, well, we are in the 64 layout. It is just street tyres. Nothing fancy. No softs, no mediums, no hards, just street tyres. That is it for these guys. That's all they've got to contend with, and that's all they've got to get used to using. So there we go. Onwards and upwards into the standings we go. We start it off with the Div Freeze. And it is Magnus Dahlgren out in front on 23.5 points with JT Tammy in second, and then Bradley Sellers in third. Then we've got Ross Smith, Timon Suvic, Ethan Funk, Alexander Schultz, Brian Hall, Carl Vesser, and Jason Whitehead rounds out the top 10. And then after that, it's Mike Bell, Angus Tong, Dave Coors, Tom Lane, Walter de Bruin, Nicholas Hildebrand, Mikael Ramos, and Nicholas Kirstens, who are here today. Emmy Racing Ferrari lead the teams with Smile Power Racing in second, and Rookie Monsters third. Storm Rider Racing fourth, and then Scudiera BWOT Ferrari in fifth. In the Div 3 AMS, it is Jerry Chen out in front at the moment with George Angelidis hot on his heels, 6.3 points back there, as you can see on your screen. Then we've got Barry DiMarzo, John Mayer, Yaroslav Zacek, and then Peter Meyer and Tom Mountjoy have not scored points. In the teams, it's Flying Kiwi, then Scudiera Cavella, and then Hardtail Racing Shelby. In the Div 1 and 2s, there is lots of people involved in this championship. Elko Busanic is out in front with Cameron Barker in second, Daniel Hurlock in third, Becky Ely in fourth. We'll address Targa Florio in a very short while. Dan Kirby in fifth, Ben Borman sixth, Davidson in seventh, Darren Andrews in eighth, Oliver Day ninth, Diego Castro in 10th. And then behind that, Alfredo Cabrera, Scar Pope, Alexander Nekoroshikov, Alex Zagarugnev, and Craig Pullen. Then you've got Reese Gardner, John Uyan, Julia Long, Tigran Mkhitaryan, Oliver Newman, Nikita Smirnov, Declan Grady, Matthew Overton, Ollie Cargelati, Luca Tavanari, and then Neil Wood, Tony McCoffin, and Robert Strachan. In the team, CMS Pro Alpha are out in front with Fatigo Monsters in second, Joy Motorsport third, Mike Bell fourth, Alpha Australia's fifth, and then Lufthansa Porsche in sixth, Cyberlinks Racing in eighth. I'm not quite sure where seventh's gone on that one. Associate Automobiles in ninth, Black Knight Racing Alpha 10th, and then Gasolinks Racing in 11th, then Car Beer Racing in 12th. In the 1-2, Div 1-2 AMS, it is Eric Mimonet out in front with James Bowders in second. Adam Gray is in third. Then we've got Luke Goodlife, Tom Mountjoy, Pavel Shinoborov, Mateus Bogle, Fernando Ferreira, Felipe Marazzi, Stephen Miller, Felipe Ducati, Santiago Dancourt, and Matej Treshev have not scored points. In the teams, it's Mistral Targo Porsche out in front with Reptile Racing in second, Gasolink Racing in third, Hardtail Racing, Shelby Daytona in fourth. So that is currently up to date with the standings, and that, I think, is enough to bring in Mr. Bradley Dalton. Bradley, welcome into the booth, dear sir. How are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. It's Spa. It's Spa-Francorchamps. This is a layout that I had to do a little bit of studying on, as is traditional for me with the Historic Series. I'm enjoying the Historic Series. Last week I was last race, not last week, but last race it was a little something. But I am overall enjoying this Historic Series. It's been fun. And this layout of Spa, I think, is going to give some good racing. It's going to give some good high-speed racing. We're looking at roughly 18 laps, if I've done my math correct. And so should be some good action.
Yeah, I think there will be. I think it's going to be interesting as well. Welcome in to the booth. Into YouTube chat. We've got Stacey Scotsman, Nathaniel McPhee, Kim D is in here as well. 90ED6LSV/Carpizzo is in the YouTube chat. So I don't know why I said it like that, really. Sim Racing is here as well. So welcome in all of you guys once again. Stacey Scott. James owes me an apology for thinking my race was over twice during Long Beach on Thursday. I'm sorry, Stacey, but twice you did die. Literally, it came back from the dead. Yes, you did finish 5 laps down, and I appreciate that as well. So my apologies for thinking you were terminated. But you were, you did hit the wall quite hard at Long Beach with your steering, I think, at one point, 90 degrees to the left. Forgive me for thinking it was over. Right, Brad, let's address the elephant in the room. Tiger Floria.
All right.
Now, that was an interesting evening of racing, right? We sat here. We knew the mistake at the beginning. We spotted that there was an error. It got addressed at the end of lap 2 when the race was finished. I think Matthew Overton started from the pits. It put him a lap ahead when he came out. And John Uyan, sorry, not Matthew Overton, John Uyan. So sorry, Matthew. John Uyan came out the pits. He missed the start finish. He put him a lap ahead. There was a whole little drama. The race finished after 2 laps when it should have finished after 3. It went to a poll, right? George put the poll out. What is the situation with that poll? What was the final result of the poll, Brad?
Okay, so originally the race was just scored. It was done. They said, here we go. And then George's inbox flooded. So George said, okay, drivers, here's a poll. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to respond. You tell me what you want to do. So the race was classified as of the end of lap 2. And with that, some new rules came out from this. So there was, a handful of things that came from this race, some of them being some new rules. But I am going to read just pretty much verbatim what was announced in 1964. Congratulations, Becky Ely, for her first overall win in CMS and VWSC. Tom Mountjoy, first class win. Magnus Dahlgren and George Angelides with class wins. There were some technical issues that called the race at the end of lap 2. The race will not be reran. However, they did investigate it. The announcement was made yesterday regarding John Uyan. Joined late, started from the pits. Targa Florio mod lacks the usual red light at pit exit, and drivers exiting from the pits start on lap 1, which means no outlap, which the admins were not aware of. Uyan exited pits early, joined the race ahead of several other drivers. In-race reporting alleged Uyan failed to join at the end of the line, but he indeed did. However, there is no CMS chapter or event rule to the effect. Stewards also confirmed that Uyan was given a drive-through by Sim for exiting pits early, which he did serve. So there was no further action brought in there. However, they did announce some new rules and some new changes in for everything. So they now have changed how things are scored depending on how the finishes goes. But Targa Florio stands at half points as of the end of lap 2, as the race was 2/3 of the way completed.
Right. So there you go. After all the cinematics, dramatics, and moments over the last week or 2 weeks or so, Targa Florio basically was scored at half points. Becky Ely still took the win. Fair play. Nathaniel, I didn't believe, you are right, her steering was at one point 90 degrees to the opposite way. So there you go. And Stacey, yes, you did make it excitement. Right, we got Mr. Ross Smith. He has come in and joined us. We've just gone into warm-up, so we've got 14.5 minutes of warm-up. Ross is here to give us the weekly update of the SGS and what is going on in the SGS news office. Ross, welcome in.
Welcome. Thanks for having me. How you guys doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Just doing fantastic. We're getting ready for this race here. It's pretty exciting. We're obviously a very challenging track, very similar to Targa. Where you've got some of these historic tracks we've gone to, like Sebring, Daytona. They provide their own unique layouts and challenges, but certainly these this one and the previous one have been their own unique challenges. Where Targa was very long and twisty, this one is very long and very fast, and you're going to not see the same type of competition between the divisions where you have Div 1-2 fighting for overall with Div 3, although that may end up happening because of other things. If, say, all of the Div 3 cars end up just DNFing for different reasons, then that could happen. But I don't think that's going to happen today. You are going to have some retirements. It's very unlikely that you can get away without having them, but it's a very difficult track. You got to hit your marks very precisely. It's not like in a GT3 or something where you've got ABS to kind of save you a little bit or run off to keep you down. You've got fences, cows, houses, everything else to catch you just inches from the track. So there's really nothing you can do if you miss it. You just have to hope and pray that maybe you get lucky and you go under the cow, something to that effect. But
are they solid objects?
Some are, some aren't. Pretty much anything that you see on the side of the track, you can hit. I think there might be some of the people that that are not collidable, but most everything is going to be something to look out for. And realistically, if you're off the track enough where you can hit something, well, your race is probably going to be over anyway. So, yeah.
Okay, what's been coming out of SGS this week? What are we expecting update-wise? Have we got anything new?
So there were a couple minor updates to some of the historic cars here that we're running today. Most of it was just a little bit of housekeeping more than anything else. So nothing you're going to see really in terms of BOP or performance that's going to be altered through what's gone on. And there's been a lot of focus on the modern cars and trying to get those up to snuff. Same sort of thing, some house cleaning, but also some BOP changes like the GR10 is getting worked on. And we're also trying to get things aligned for the upcoming historic series where we've got the first 2 cars done, the third one's getting in, the fourth one is actually nearing completion for modeling, and that will have the 5th one. We're probably on track to have all 5 cars driving around by I want to say the modern Le Mans, so like in about a month or 2, month and a half, somewhere around there.
I can't remember what year it was, Ross. You said to me that we were going into. Could you just refresh my memory of what year it was?
Yeah, we're running 5 cars for the WC 19 series. So it's we're all really excited to see how the community takes on with that. Sorry about that. A little phlegmy from all that.
Well, look, I'll take that as a win, right? Because we got 19 out of him. So at least we're going back that far. Look, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as a win. You know what I mean? I got a little bit. He did have a little bit of a snuff in the middle, but there we go. Hey, look, I as we say, that's a win, right? Right. What do we expect out of Ross Smith at Spa today?
I'm hoping for a top 5. My teammate Valter is up on there. He almost got past Bradley. I mean, he was on pole until Bradley managed to eke out that extra little bit. And so that was, it was a little disheartening because, we'd have loved to have that pole position and have him hold some of the team back, or some of the other teams back. But yeah.
You got 2nd and 3rd, didn't you? Why is there a car on fire? What am I staring at?
Probably.
What?
Yes, everyone's basically just doing the pit box check right now, so just ignore what's happening in there. But as far as the team goes, the rookie monsters, Wouter. Unfortunately, Angus Tong couldn't be here today, so it's just going to be the 2 of us. So, we're just going to try and stay cool, stay calm. Don't run it off track. You got some of these fast guys here that are around us. Obviously, Bradley, Tom, Timon. JT is going to be able to come through. Jason, Ethan Funk. Magnus Dahlgren. They're all fast. Basically, all that top 10 there. They're all very quick. They're all very capable of doing serious damage, literally and figuratively. So, we're all just going to look out for each other and try and make it to the end, if nothing else. And if we're in a position to do it, we're going to try and go for maximum points.
Now, what do we think on lap wise? Obviously, Brad's done some maths, but as we full well know, commentators and maths don't always work out. He said we're going to do about 18 laps. Come on, Brad. We try and do maths at like 2 in the morning for me. It never works out. So what do we expect? About 18 laps?
Well, yeah, it's actually set. So this is one of the races that was set on distance, not time. So it was actually the 500 kilometers of Spa-Francorchamps. So we're running the half distance on that for this race, which works out to be about 18 laps. So it's not exactly 250, but it's about there. So the Div 3s, the ones leading the way there, will be able to go all 18 laps, assuming that they all survive. So probably the Divs 1s and 2s, they may end up losing a lap, possibly 2. I think we saw that at MNRL on Tuesday. Some of the field was lapped. I mean, it's going to be so spread out and the track is so long. Lap traffic isn't going to be as big of a concern as you have seen on other tracks. Similar to the way Targa was, like you didn't have much in the way of class interaction, except at the start where everyone was just on top of each other.
I do love the fact that YouTube's jumped on the fire. Right, Stacey's there going fire. Nathaniel's out there saying car 115 seems to be slightly overheating, and then Stacey's come back and said probably Mike Bell, our very own Paul Glover, clearly feeling the heat. He said Yes, he's good at setting them ablaze. So there we go. I love it. YouTube chat jumping on the smallest little detail that we give them on the screen. We gave them a fire and they've all gone crazy. So do we then thinking here today, Russ, are we thinking necessarily that it's going to be certain car division is going to win? You know, we can go to some tracks and it's like, well, it could be a Div 1, Div 2, it could be a Div 3. Do we think this is set though?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a Div 3 unless something catastrophic happens and they all get wiped out. It's going to be a Div 3. We're at least 10 to 15 seconds faster throughout the entirety of the stint. So it's going to take some catastrophe, and they have to deal with the same type of fuel concerns. So it's not like they can jump us in the pits. Although you still have cars like the Shelby that we're going to have to stop twice. And go 3 stints exactly. JT's going to have one where he's going to have to stop short, but he's already running pretty fast. He's up there with us. So, I mean, everyone has a shot basically in the top tier. And when it comes down to the other ones, the Porsches have been really strong and obviously very plentiful. So, they're out there. We've got Scar Pope and I think the lone Alpine going to try and take the fight too. I mean, he's strong. He's very quick. We'll see what he can do to represent France. But good luck to him. Like I said, there isn't going to be much competition between the divisions, just because we're going to be separated. Shouldn't be anyway. And what I would say, look out for. Just pay attention to the way that drivers manage their distances and manage their cars throughout the race. Because speed is going to be important. But making sure that you keep your car on the track, keep it steady. Whoever can do that the best and stay the fastest, they're going to be on top. They're going to be on top by miles. And that's really what the focus of the race is going to be, is just staying cool and calm and not so much, how much can I like catch up with this guy here and get around him and speed away. It's going to be all about preservation.
Okay. Well, Ross. Scar Pope inadvertently has just gone flying off the racetrack as well, mind you. Not good eye. Ross, thanks so much for joining us and giving us your weekly rundown on what's been happening in the VWSC there, buddy. Much appreciated. Good luck today. Hopefully we might see you in that top 5. See you on the top step, maybe.
I'd love it. I mean, if we can pull it off, I would be tickled. This is going to be one of the few tracks where we're going to have that kind of shot, because the Shelby's strong, but I mean, unfortunately, it's not like Daytona where it's probably got maybe the best advantage right next to the C2, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Okay, buddy. Well, good luck. Have a good one, mate. And hopefully we will see you later on for an interview.
I'd love it. All right, guys. Have a good broadcast, and see you at the end.
See you later. So there you go. That was our very own Ross Smith. Didn't get any more out of him. I even tried the old, I can't remember what year you told me, trick. I will take 19 as a win. So at least we're going back. We know for the next historic we're going back below the 2000 mark. So I'm going to take that as a win, I think. Brad, I think we don't get many wins up here in the booth. Let's take that one.
Maybe he said 1994. Maybe he said 94 through his cough. I'll have to go watch the broadcast back later to see if I can tell what years he was coughing out, because I feel like he told us. I feel like he told us something. We'll find
I don't know.
out.
He's still hanging around in the booth here as well, Mr. Smith. Oh
Yeah.
no, he's gone now. Oh, I didn't realise you were still
No,
here.
I'm still here. Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to get around to the other side, so I haven't been able to pop back out of the booth quite yet.
Oh, okay, buddy. Well, I would move you, but you're higher than me, so I don't have the power. So.
Oh no, I'm
yeah.
staying clean for this race.
Okay, mate. No worries at all. Yeah, we'll see. Ross, is there any live deer?
Live? Oh, dear. No. No, but there. You know what? There are going to be some signs to contend with that I'm sure will make their way onto the track and will be obstacles. So keep a lookout for those. Keep a lookout for tires and debris. I mean, that I can tell you, when we ran the 1971 cars here, I came out of the double left as you're heading up towards Blanchimont, and Gilles Lalonde was on the side of the road pushing someone who'd run out of gas. And your car pushes out there hard because you're absolutely on the limit. And I had nowhere to go except slide over to the side and basically die on the side of a hill. So those types of things can very easily ruin a race. I mean, and it's no fault of anyone who's running. Like looking at there's a new guy who came in today and just absolutely blitzing the field. I forgot his name already, but he could be one who's just running the top and just absolutely gets smattered because somebody runs out of fuel, gets stuck on the side of the road, hits a fence, pops a curve. It's anything can happen.
Okay. Well, I look forward to it. Ross, thank you so much again for joining me. Sorry if I shocked you the second time after saying goodbye, but good luck.
Sorry.
I hope you have a good one, buddy, and we'll catch up with you soon. So there you go, guys. That's been the rundown. Thanks, Ross. Good luck, says Nathaniel. And there as well. The Porsche 904 said 7.8 laps per tank, but I never got a chance to stay alive long enough to run a full stint, says Stacey. So never mind. Next time. Hopefully not a long beat show, because that was quite a terrible. It was a rough race for you, Stace. Come on, let's be real about it. So there we go. Brad, you feel like Ross told us, so maybe we'll go back and slow motion the broadcast and see if we can hear what the year was.
Yeah, maybe one of our lovely viewers can do that in the background. Do a quick rewind, find out what year that was, and jump back and let us know in chat. That would be great, because now I'm going to be sitting here kind of toying it over and trying to find out. Or Ross, you can just send me a DM so then I can know, and then I can just tease James about him not knowing. That's also a good option, I think.
If you don't think I'm going to go back, if you don't think I'm going to go flying back through that broadcast to find out if he did actually say anything, you're gonna be wrong, Brad. And Paul always finds out first because they send in the promo material, and it drives me crazy. So but there we go. Brad, going on to this bracket though, it's going to be quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, this track is going to be fun. I'm kind of interested to see how it goes. Of course, Spa has a checkered history. We'll leave it at that. I'll touch into it later through the race because warm-up is over, and we're going to get ready to get things going. But it's a dangerous track. It's a very fast track. It's pretty much polar opposite to Targa Florio, which I know Ross touched on. It's going to be interesting. I'm really curious to see what the top speeds of these cars are going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's see if we got the grid ready to be brought up on the screen as we are at the end of warm-up. We'll see if we can get that up for you now. And we'll bring you up where everybody will be placing. And let's have a look. It will be Magnus Dahlgren in first place with Ethan Funk in second, Timon Sivak in third, and Ross Smith will be in fourth place. Tom Lane in fifth, Barry DiMarzio in sixth. Then you got Jerry Chen in seventh and Reese Gardner in eighth. Moving on down the field, Elko Busenik in ninth, Alfredo Cabrera in 10th, Negra Shrogoff in 11th, and Becky Ely down in 12th place. From there, you go to Scar Pope, Neil Wood, Dan Herlock, and Gilles Lalonde in that Porsche 904. On from there, next row back, 17 and 18, Cameron Barker and Adam Gray. Then we've got Filippo Marazzi and Craig Pullen. Luke Goodlife, Jason Whitehead, Mike Bell, and Nicola Kirsten. Into the 24. Oliver Day, Santiago Dancourt, Tom Mountjoy, and George Angelidis. Round out the top 28. Then you got John Uyan and Peter Meyer, the last people, I believe, on the grid. Being that we've only got 30 cars there, I'm a little bit confused if that grid is completely correct, considering Bradley Sellers was on first place. So, not sure on that one. There's still a few more cars further down, I believe, as well. with Adam Gray, Fernando Ferreira, Santiago Dancourt, James Bowders, Tom Mountjoy, David Junt, John Uyan, Luke Goodlife, Ben Money, and Lucas Varnari. So maybe there was a little bit of error with the grid on that one. Brad, what do we think is going to happen here today? Do we think chaos? Or do we think what? It looks like, by the looks of my screen, and I might be saying this in a loose term, I have a funny feeling we are underway here because there was no pace lap and Brad Sellers is out in front with Wouter de Bruin in second. If that has started how I think it started, yeah, because the green flags are waving, and then you've got Timon Suvic, JT Tammy in there with Ethan Funk, Magnus Dahlgren behind that for 8th, Alexander Schultz in 9th, and Mike Bell in 10th. No real dramas happening at the moment.
Yeah, nothing crazy going on early other than kind of what we expected with the Div 3 cars just absolutely powerhousing away, which I think we knew was going to happen at this track. Div 1 and 2 are just, going to have to play catch up and just kind of tag on as they can. Up at the front, it is going to be just go, go, go for these cars. I think the biggest thing is just keep the car under you in the corners, and that is going to be really where things go. No formation lap, and that doesn't surprise me. I had kind of forgotten about it in the back of my head, but it doesn't surprise me, no formation lap, because if you consider that this track is 14 kilometers long, formation lap would have been like 15 minutes, and I don't think anyone wants to putt around here for 15 minutes.
Excuse me. Oh, hey, Bale. Oh, that's Brad Sellers. Oh, my God, that is like a mass pile-up. With Brad Sellers. There is like loads of cars going into that run there as well. If we can pick up on the incident, there is a mass amount of cars that are having. Brad is out. Brad Sellers is DNF'd already and is out of the race. I believe the Shinoba was in the Newman, Scar Pope. It's still going. It is literally still going with cars that have gone and careered into what was Bradley Sellers' mistake. Here it is initially. This is where Brad loses the tyre. I'll bring you through the starting process in a minute. It is just there. But if you have a look at what Brad Sellers done, he then makes an absolute barnstorming mistake. And then next, boom, he's off the side of the circuit. Off comes a hay bale. Off comes the tyre. And then everybody else, the 75 has gone round. There's one on his right. My dearie me. There's JT Tammy in there in the lone Corvette. The 75 machine is upside down as well. There's more coming off the side. The 85's off as well. There's Jason Whitehead, Bradley Sellers, Oliver Newman, and Eduardo Benica are all out of the race already. And they are out before we've even gone anywhere. Bradley Sellers gone, Whitehead DNF, Newman out, and that's allowed Wouter de Bruin to take the lead at the moment. So Wouter de Bruin is out, I believe, in front here. This is Jerry Chen, Damaso, and Maya. They're battling out for the Div 3 AMs. Div 3 AMs currently leading here as well. But yes, bad start for some.
We did say mind the hay bales in the beginning. We did say mind the hay bales, and it looks like some of the drivers did not heed our advice. That was wow. That was a lot.
Chaotic. That was a lot of people out at the beginning, and we've got Tom Lane's out, Whitehead's out, Newman, Edwin Cabanica, and Sellers.
So there's another one.
There's lots going on.
Yeah, this one's Neil Wood. Neil Wood just driving around behind it. No! That is... Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, that is not how you rejoin a track. That is, Oh! But we did hear Ross talking about cars on the side of the road being dangerous, and then this is Mountjoy going off around behind a wall, down into the trees, and he got bumped. I don't know who that was, but he got sent, and he is out now.
That's a purple machine. The 30 looks like the 37 the machine gave Mountjoy a little bit of a rub, or was it? It wasn't George Angelides. It was Luca Tavanari gave him a bit of a nudge there. Adam Gray's been slow again. Craig Pullen's had her own little bit of an incident by the looks of it. Fernando Ferreira, John Uyan, they're dropping like flies. We have got Dahlgren, Funk, Chernoborov, Ferreira, Herlock, Pullen in the pits. That is 5 cars. We've got Mountjoy, Lane, Sellers, Whitehead, Newman and Benica out. That is 6 cars out. 5 are in the pits. And it's looking like by the end of the lap 1, coming into lap 2 for the leaders of Wooter de Bruin, Ross Smith is in second. We have got almost 11 cars out already. That is incredible, Brad, for the start of the race.
That is rare here in VWSC. It is rare to see moments like that happen. I mean, you're going to have them, but it's very rare here to see that sort of incident. And again, it just shows the dangers, the speed, and the challenge of this track. There is a reason that Spa-Francorchamps looks so much different now than it used to. And this is point in case why. And this, we're still watching the battle for Div 1-2 here. Busink, Borman, and Gardner, they're chasing each other. This is going to be McCoffin trying to get a run here on Day, and we'll see how this battle continues to play out. Day is the car behind, and McCoffin is the car ahead, and we'll see how this plays out. There's lots of good battles in 1 and 2. I will say there's lots of good battles in Div 1 and Div 2.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot going on here, and some may say there's too much going on, but there is a lot happening currently at the moment here, and McCoffin is in some Day, Cabrera's in there as well. Pullen's out, Ferreira's out of the pits, Daniel Herlock's out of the pits, Chernoborov is out of the pits as well. So they are still carrying on. John Uyan's out of the pits. Even Funk is out of the pits as well. But I think we can safely say, as first laps go there, Brad, that was a rough one.
That was a rough one, but that was a fun one. And I'm seeing a yellow flag somewhere for who knows what. There's no telling at this point why that yellow flag is out and about. There's just so many cars there, and look at that. You could see just how much pace they're carrying. Here we go, side by side.
Chernoborov just hit a house. That's why the yellow flag is out. Chernoborov is just now DNF'd. He's gone and hit a house. Right in the side of the house, unfortunately, for Chernoborov, and he is out. But on your screen, it's a battle for second between Dancourt Bowders there. Chernoborov is there. He's in the pits. He's hit a house straight into a side of the house. This is it coming up, I believe, on your screen. I think... no, he's already there. Look, he's at the base of the screen. But Chernoborov has gone and punctured a house, which is an unbelievable sight of Chernoborov just going straight in to the side of the house. So we've got Dancourt Bowders here with Gray as well, as they're continually fight it out. But as I don't really know what to say about this opening, Brad, apart from Jesus Creepers, really. What has been going on?
Historic Spa is what's been... Oh, who was that crossing the pit line? That's the 41. We get this replay up here. Let's see if we can watch the... there you go, in the bottom right corner. I believe this is going to be our moment of the 245 coming around. Yeah, this is... I mean, he just needed a foundation inspection. That's all. Nothing too crazy. We've still got the battle here on screen. One thing to note, down that main straight, that orange line is your pit line. So you're not supposed to cross it. You're supposed to treat it like a wall. I'll be curious to see if that gets reported and investigated at all.
Well, we'll see here. We've got Bowders there. We've got Chernoborov going down the inside. Goes into the pits. He gets repaired. And then he comes out and punches the water like a house. It is unbelievable. I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. Santiago Dancourt is in 28th place. He's got James Bowders behind him and Adam Gray not too far behind that, as these guys are racing round this absolute incredible layout of Spa-Francorchamps. Do we think we should have this layout with a modern F1, Brad?
They'd never do it just for safety concerns, but think about the speed. I mean, those guys would carry full 200 miles an hour through all of this. It would be nothing for a modern F1 car. These guys are lapping in 4 minutes. Modern F1 car, probably about 3 minutes, if I had to guess, at least.
And it would just be unbelievable. You can see on the left-hand side your class spread there at the moment, and 2.3, 2.4 seconds between the Div 3 Jenna DeMarzo, and the Div 3s De Bruin and Smith are 6 seconds apart. 4 seconds between Busanic and Gardner in the Div 1 and 2s, and 11 seconds between Marazzi and Dancourt in the 1-2 AMs. So a big old spread there of cars that have gone, and well, just some of them have just caused themselves God knows what sort of problems we've witnessed. Luke Goodlife has just had a moment. He's gone deep into La Source. He's on his way though now, so that's good from Luke. But it has just been a very, very manic opening couple of laps here. We're on lap 4 of 18. De Bruin's got the fastest lap on the race on a 3:55 there. He's doing an absolutely stellar job here, Brad. But it's just been non-stop throughout this race so far. And I believe, is this Chanaborov's moment into the house? You can see him on your main screen. He goes wide and then bang! Straight in to the immovable object of the house. Bang! Welcome there. There's Belgian Flemish people sat in their living room, and they've now got Chanaborov sitting there watching, enjoying their fire in that Porsche 904 GTS. Chanaborov has gone in, he said hello, he's going to pop by for Sunday dinner, and then poor Flemish individual sitting on top of that house. Well, they've got him for Sunday dinner there as well, Brad. That was quite epic. But Gardner and Borman are on our screen currently at the moment. Borman in that Lotus 23 brought through up there, 23B, up through El Rouge, and Rowdy on tucked up behind Reese Gardner now as they go on the run down the Kemmel Straight down into Lacombe. I want to go back to the starting procedure. It looked different to what we were told, and that is why, as you can see, Borman's running side by side. I'll guide you through it very, very shortly. Is he going to be able to make this? He does. Now Borman's got through. Off through Lacombe they go, and now they're going to run down into Haute de la Courte at the base of the hill by Bourneville, which comes out in your modern day Marmady. So Borman has made it through, sliding that little skateboard on 4 wheels there. Absolutely incredible job and an amazing overtake. Starting procedure was pole sitter dictates the pace, approximately 1 car length behind the car in front. Keep distance consistent, no weaving, excessive braking. Start line is right after the climb of El Rouge. And that's why I got a little bit confused there, Brad, because we never saw that. It looked like Sellers had bolted before we'd even gone anywhere, as Gardner is still trying to come at Borman.
Yeah, you know, looking back at it, I do think that Sellers just kind of said, okay, bye, see you later. But of course, the rule is pole sitter dictates pace. And if the pole sitter decided he wanted to pace at racing speed, I don't know. We'll see what the conversation is later. This could be another case of George getting some PMs later. But I hope it's not, but you never know.
Oh, Gardner and Borman side by side now. On that run, they've gone down the Master Straight. They're on the run down into the double right-hander of Stavlo. And you're going to see that very, very shortly. There was Marmady in the background. We're down that Master Straight. We're going to go left and right through Master very, very shortly here. And he's gone left. Then we're going to go a little flick to the right. Now we're on the run down Hollywell. Down into Stavlo we go. It's going to be the right-hander. Borman's just lost that position. And now he's setting after Gardner once more. Draft action. Not massive here, Brad. Not in these cars.
Yeah, the draft doesn't make as much of a difference in this era of car. It can make a difference, though, but it's not as powerful as you see in modern-day cars. As Day and McCoffin here, running themselves side by side, and then you can see that is McCoffin slotting back in, and then Cabrera runs wide and hits a hay bale. Woo-hoo! And then is going to slide back through into the crowd. Surely the crowd moves out of the way, and that is that for
Cabrera. Yeah, Alfredo Cabrera has gone. He lost it. He hit one of the poles. He went down. He went spinning off. Tyre still on the side of the circuit. He's hit a car. He's hit a hay bale. But thank God he went through the people. So nobody was hurt in this performance from Alfredo Cabrera. He does manage to carry on, but here he comes. You see the pole pop up on the left-hand side, just about there. Then he spins round through the people. He goes into the car, into the hay bale, and he somehow manages to survive. I will say not long after that as well, he has gone off again, has Alfredo Cabrera, and he's done it once, and then he's gone and done it again. He's got loose. He's hit a post on the left-hand side this time, and has gone and punctured a telegraph pole not long after that initial incident from him. So yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Cabrera is joining the list of DNF so far. Chedaborov, Mountjoy, Lane, Sellers, Whitehead, Newman and Benica, and I don't think Cabrera is going to be able to carry on because he has gone and punctured that wall. That is Ben Borman on the bottom of your screen. That is Reese Gardner in front of us. So these guys in all the action here. Brad, they've just gone through. Borman's into the pits. No, I think he is going to stop here, Ben Borman. I'm hoping he does there. And you can see on the left-hand side there where Ben Borman was going down the pitch, you can see the orange line. That is the pit line. They are not allowed to go over that pit line all the way down until they get to the end. If they cross it, they're in trouble. They've got to treat it like an initial wall when they're racing, of course. So they've got to be a little bit careful of that situation. And I am correct, Cabrera is out. So another DNF there, as we can see McCoffin and Day on your screen still fighting out here, Brad.
Yeah, McCoffin and Day going side by side here. But my question, the thing that I'm trying to remember and understand. So we were thinking 2 pit stops, but then Borman's already pitting the Lotus. So is he going to have to do 2 plus a splash and dash? Because it's lap 5. He's pitting a little early. Unless he's thinking something with pit strategy to try to get the move up here in Div 1-2. I don't know, though, because now he's going to be in a mess of his own. And look at this battle. Look at this camera angle as we go through. They're side by side. Who comes out ahead? They're side by side of the right-hander. Oh, my gosh. Spa is such a fast track, especially in historics. And these cars are just such a handful to begin with. It just makes it that much more difficult.
Yeah, looks like we've had a couple of offs here. These guys still continuing to scrap it out. Unfortunately, Mike Bell into the hay bale. Eric Monet down into turn 1. He had his own little moment, but Mike Bell is in a bale. He just got a big old slide on into a pole, into the bale, into the wall. That's exactly where Cabrera had his moment from. And then Mike Bell was forced to go into the pits after that. Eric Monet just had a slow moment going down into La Source. He went in way too deep. He was never getting that turn for a month for Sundays. And unfortunately, he's gone off the side of the circuit. So we keep an eye on what Mike Bell... that's where he got... That's the same one he had. And then he hits the telegraph pole, spins the car around. So Mike Bell... James Bowders is also gone. I'm not entirely sure where he's going, but wherever he's going, he won't be there anytime soon as he comes popping out after going off the hill. Over he goes there, and George Angelides had another slow moment going into La Source. You can just see he went in deep. So, yeah. Now, we've also lost Craig. Yeah, they've all just gone, I think, too deep. Yep. Into La Source. Craig Pullen did exactly the same. He's gone too deep into La Source as well. So a lot of action at the moment here with people that are out. I can tell you Cabrera, Chernoborov, Mountjoy, Lane, Sellers, Whitehead, Newman and Benica. We've lost them right at the beginning due to an absolute amazing collision. We've got JT Tammy. He's got Mike Bell and Alexander Schultz tucked up behind him, right up now. As you can see, they're on their run down through La Source, down through El Rouge and Radium.
Yeah, and there we go with the hard break coming in from Bell. Bell's really wanting to try to make this pass across JT Tammy as quick as possible. Needs to be careful with it, though, because, again, these cars are such a handful, and any sort of a miscalculation is going to cost you big time. But you can see he slots back in here as we now run down the Kimmel Straight. Down in the bottom right, we've also got another battle going. That is going to be... Who is that? That is Confident and Day. There we go. That we are looking at. Look up at the top left, side by side. A little bit of a slide there from Bell, trying to work his way through, and he does get past JT Tammy, and now just needs to hold it and keep it moving. It looks like he is going to be through. Day down in the bottom right is continuing to try to battle as well. It's very, very close all through the field. Like everywhere through, it's very, very close.
Yeah, we're confident Day through La Source. That was Mike Bell over JT Tammy up through Lacombe before they go running off down to Delacote and then into Bonneville there, which will lead you into Marmaduke. So we're confident a Day now. You can see Newman and Benica. I don't think... No, I haven't got... Are they still running? Yeah, I was going to say that they're out at the moment, as far as I'm aware. So John Uyan on your screen now with Daniel Herlock, as these guys are continuing to fight in as well. Dan Herlock has just gone past John Uyan down the straightaway. You can see they're kind of almost side by side. They're not giving an inch at the moment here. These guys can continue to fight it out in these Alfa Romeo Giulias. There's no room, no love given. And Daniel Herlock does make it through over John Uyan, who's also in that Giulia as well. But it was definitely no love given at the end there, Brad. It was going to be very tight.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me either. As fast as this track is, you can't afford to give up an inch or lift or do anything. As you see JT Tammy in the background getting a little swirly and loose there, trying to chase down Bell, and with Schultz right behind. So this battle that was a 2-car battle for P5 is very quickly evolving into a 3-car battle. And they have a 20-second gap to Kirsten in P4, so these three are just going to kind of keep each other company and keep pushing and moving through. As you see, we'll ride on board here back in the back, and we'll see what Schultz can do to catch up. This is the last of our Div 3s running out in P7, and then from there it's Div 3 AM and P8 overall. You can see you just have to kind of stick behind, pick your move, hope that the guy goes slightly slower through any of these sweeping fast corners, and really just make sure you're nailing your points. I know Ross touched on it earlier, but you've got to be on top of the car and really know your track. Otherwise, you're going to do what we've already seen and slam into walls and have a bad day. So we see Alexander Schultz there trying to go down the right-hand side on JT Tammy, not able to make it work, though. Once he pulls through, it's like it's a wall of air blocking him. Mm-hmm. So now he's going to slot back in there and just hold on to P7.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing that Schultz is able to do. He cannot pull out because, as you say, as soon as he goes out, he hits a wall. That is it. Game over. Done and dusted. Oliver Dowie is crazy fast in the Porsche 904, says Stacey there, as we concentrate now on the McCoffin and Day battle. The top on your screen at the moment. Day is not far behind McCoffin. In fact, they're side by side going down now. McCoffin and Day still scrapping it out. The Porsche 904s doing an absolute stellar job of battling with each other here. Through the right hander of Stabilo, they're going to be going now, and then on that run down into the last part of the race circuit. Epic battles here, Brad. I think this is making this series, these cars, these track, it's just been amazing.
Yeah, this is probably the best car track race that honestly we've had so far this season. And you know, every race has been great, but having action like this all throughout the field, every single class is battling. There's a battle anywhere you want to look. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying how it goes here. McCoffin finally getting past Day, but does it still? No! As he goes off, slams the wall aside. Oh! And that shows how quickly your day can change. That was a brutal one.
McCaughlin nearly, well, I suppose in hindsight, as the words of other great commentators that we work with, unfortunately, McCaughlin did not have a good one. He goes round the corner, he goes out wide, he hits the pole, shoots himself off. There he is. He then mounts the barrier. Literally, there we go. His back end is straddled. Somehow manages to get the car off. I'm quite impressed about that. And then goes up the verge the other way. And unfortunately, not good for Tony McCaughlin. That is it. All done and dusted. But he's still racing on his way down through El Rouge and Radion coming down from La Source. I'm surprised McCaughlin's still going after that. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know how that car is going. We've seen cars DNF from less, so I'm a little confused. I'm going to just blame R Factor 2 as we see Tammy and Schultz here running through. This is the battle for P4 overall in the P4 battle in Div 3, and you can see that Schultz is just right there behind Tammy, trying to slipstream and have a run. It's so weird to me. These cars are so fast, but slipstream is not that important at all. And then you're going to see that they have a car in front of them that now they also have to contend with. That is the 151. That is David Junt that they have to contend with as well.
Becky Ely's down in the right-hand side with David Junt, and then we've got JT Tummy and Alexander Schultz, who's just gone down Stavelo. They're on the run down through Blanchimont. Now the guys on the main focus of your screen on the left-hand side, and then we've obviously got Becky Ely down in the bottom right-hand side. Becky's feeling the pressure at the moment as well. Not good. She's got David Junt tucked up right behind her. And unfortunately, I think Mike Bell has just DNF'd. He has just called it a day. And unfortunately for Mike Bell, it was probably another mistake. Craig Pullen DNF'd as well, but there was contact with Pullen. And unfortunately, Pullen ended up off into the field. That was contact there with Craig Pullen. I can't see who the red car is who's involved with him, but he makes contact to his rear end just about now, spins it round, and Pullen, bang, straight into the thing. That was car number 115, I believe that is. But Craig Pullen's out, Cabrera's out, Chernobyl is out as well. I cannot actually see a 115. Yes, I can. That's Nicholas Kirstens, who has just put Craig Pullen into the fence. But Mike Bell is also out. He's had a moment all on his own as well. Mike Bell in that Shelby Daytona. I mean, it's the same house. It's the same house as Chernobyl. The difference is Mike Bell comes shooting back into the middle of the racetrack. So there you go. He didn't quite go into the house. That poor house on that on that left-hand side, Brad. He's had some visitors.
Yeah, do they have insurance is what was just said in my ear, and I was literally thinking it. Watch this. Oh!
He hit the car. Oh. Can we go on board? Because he hits that green car. Can we get a replay from the drivers or cockpit? Because he hits I swear to God, he hits the car. Watch. Oh, he does. Oh. He hits the car and comes back into the middle of the track.
That is the most.
Mike.
Oh, that is the most expensive house in Belgium. Let me tell you.
Ooh, I tell you what, his insurance premium's going to go up through the roof. He's had Mike Bell in the house. He's got his car. He's had Chernobyl trying to come in for Sunday lunch. And JT Tammy is still running. Schultz has got through now as well. So Schultz is in front of JT Tammy there as well. One of the things, we talk about the design work from SGS. Have you looked in the cockpit, Brad, of that Corvette? It is immaculately designed. It looks beautiful. Maybe we'll see if we can catch that in a minute. Did Becky Ely, David Junt, Tony McCaughlin are on your screen as they're coming down into La Source. McCaughn's trying to go. He's got the outside 55 machine. He's trying to go past, but Ethan Funk, I believe, David Junt has managed to hold on to that inside line. Him and, well, that puts that one to the end because David Junt and Tony McCoffin are in the pits, and Becky Ely carries on. So, yeah, done and dusted for that battle that briefly lasted. But yeah, if we can get in a driver cockpit shot of that Corvette, it is gorgeously designed. There we go. Some of the small things, Brad, that gets us excited.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Storm Gang has done such a good job with this mod. We got a replay coming on here, and I have a feeling that this is right here. We'll see. He's chasing here. He's gonna have a moment, and it's just a matter of where and exactly what. But we know there's a moment coming. While that's going, I do want to point out that pretty much all of the Div 2 cars, with the exception of Gilles Lalonde, have pit. That is including Becky Ely, and pretty much most of our Div 3 have been still on track, except for Wouter de Bruin and Ross Smith.
Yeah, I can tell you now, Fernando Ferreira gets it all wrong in a corner. He slides that car around. Does Fernando Ferreira there. Unfortunately, in that Porsche 904, he doesn't have a good time. We'll see if we can find that one a little bit later. But we've got Scar Popes at the moment. He's gone too deep into La Source. Lots of people in the pits. David Junt and Adam Gray, McCoffin, Goodlife, Uyan Herlock, Tabanari and Ross Smith. They're all back in and out of the race circuit there as well. Peter Meyer and Barry DiMarzo, they're having a nice little ding-dong as well here, Brad, once again.
Yeah, this battle, I think, is going to go for a while between DiMarzio and Meyer. We'll see if George Angelidis can try to get up in the mix, but George Angelidis is about 20 seconds back from this battle, so I don't think he will. And then you've got a good battle going in the bottom right of your screen there with Dancourt, who is trying to battle and move up with Marazzi. We'll see how that one goes as they go side by side down in the bottom right. Up at the top left, you can see just the spread of the field there because they're going down the main straight, and then in the bottom right, they're only about halfway through the track. So things are spread out quite a bit as it stands, which I think we kind of expected, though, with the power difference between all of these different classes of cars.
Well, yeah, we did say, and Ross did say that some of them were going to be 10 to 15 seconds slower than the Div 3s. McCoffin has DNF'd. Tony McCoffin has DNF'd, and I can hope. Oh my God, he's only gone and done it again. Okay, he missed the house. He missed the house. He hit the hay bale after. So unfortunately for Tony McCoffin, that is all done. He has DNF'd. Just missed the house, but he did rupture the hay bale, and you can see just the back end of him there as well. And it just needs to go back a little bit more if we can, just to see the start. I can tell you now, he come round the corner, misses the house by a millimetre, punches the hay bale. All right, so that was basically what has happened to him. Becky Ely is under pressure. She's chasing down Elko Businic down in 17th and 18th place. You've got DiMarzo and Meyer on your screen. They're battling out for 7th and 8th overall.
Yeah, DiMarzo Meyer here. This is 7th and 8th overall, but this is second in class. So it's extremely important for them, too. When you look at the points and you look at where we're at in the championship, they want to try to keep things moving forward and moving up. We are, of course, on round 4 of this championship, but you need to start thinking a little bit long-term as well about points. Div 1 and 2, Borman and Lalonde are now into the pits here, which is going to let Gardner through. And it looks like Businic will go through as well on them, possibly. And still we're watching DiMarzo and Meyer here that are trying to chase through. And I'm curious, when are Div 3 going to pit? Because we're now at the halfway point of this race. So when will the Div 3s need to pit?
Shortly. Anytime soon, I would have thought. I don't think Peter Meyer has pitted currently at the moment. So we'll find out very, very shortly, I'm sure there. I can give you a rundown. Now get your fingers out because you're going to want to count this. Tony McCoffin, out. Mike Bell, out. Craig Pullen, out. Alfredo Cabrera, out. Pavel Chernoborov, out. Tom Mountjoy, out. Tom Lane is out. Bradley Sellers is out. Jason Whitehead is out. Oliver Newman's out. And Eduardo Bonica is out. Now, by my calculations, that is 11 cars we have lost over the first nine laps. Mike, somebody did not build a house in your way. The house was already there. The cars were already there, Mike. You did not do that as well, as we're picking up on a replay of this is Mike's incident, and we'll hopefully see if we got this spot on. That's coming. Where are you at the moment on the track there, Mike? Yeah, here we go. He hits the post. It's the bit. There you go. Bang. So he does miss the house, but he hits the hay bale after, Brad, and then he does that. So, unfortunately for him, it's not looking good. Tavanari's been deep into La Source. Dan Herlock's been deep into La Source as well. Luke Goodlife has also been deep into La Source. So, a lot of people taking La Source a little bit quicker than they need to here, Brad. They need to just back up just a little bit, maybe, and hit that breaking point.
Yeah, the thing is, too, to remember, you're running flat out for so long before you hit La Source that you need to probably be dabbing the brakes a little bit and get them warmed up a little bit before you hit that braking zone. When you're coming through Blanchimont, you need to be a little dab of the brakes, probably warm them up a little bit. That way they're ready to go. We've now seen some of our Div 3 drivers go in the pits. I was saying, when are they going to pit? You said soon. You were not wrong, as we see Timon Subik's been in. Udo de Bruin's been in. Nicholas Christen has been in. Magnus Dahlgren's in. Ethan Funk has done his second pit stop, which is interesting to me. So we've got a lot of those Div 3 drivers that have gone in, finally done their pit stops, and we'll see how that affects the rest of their race, because they're over halfway. So if this pit is just fuel, then they can just run flat out to the end.
Yeah, we've got Adam Gray and John Uyan and also Santiago Dancourt. They are scrapping it out. This is on the replay. It's George Angelidis. I think George has gone deep into La Source like everybody else has gone into the pits. If we go down to the Dancourt Uyan Gray battle, we've got Uyan running currently side by side with Santiago Dancourt. How is this one going to finish off here, Brad? Side by side, it's not always worked here, Brad, has it? And at the moment, it looks like it's worked for John Uyan.
Yeah, and you can see for John Uyan getting through there. And then you can see Dancourt. Like, everyone is just running so much speed, and you have so little time to think. You've got to make your decisions. You've got to stick with them here, as we see Dancourt trying to chase down Uyan, and then Gray as well in the mix. So, and then remember, John Uyan is Div 1-2, and then Dancourt and Gray are in the AM class. So while it's not a battle for class necessarily with Uyan, it is a battle for position. So you still want to try to fight your way through, especially when you've got the guy in second place, just over a second behind you on a track this fast and this dangerous. You really, really want to try to put a car between you and him if you can.
Yeah, round through Stavler they go. The double right-hander. Oh, they're actually at Bourneville, sorry. The right-hander there. Now on the going down, they'll be going right again, and very, very shortly they're going to go brief jink through turn left of turn 8. Then the right-hander, they're going to come in through Marmaduke on that one. So there we go. These guys continue to fight it out on what has been a very, very tricky racetrack for all of them. Santiago Dancourt. We've got John Adam Gray is in there, sorry. He is just overtaken now. On the bottom of your screen is Ben Borman. Oh. That's Adam Gray there, having a good old little bit of a ding-dong and, well, managing to make it through. And look at the speed he's got here. How has he done that? It looks like he's just pressed the turbo button, Brad. He cleared him, went past him, and said, see you later.
Yeah, that is the difference of speed between the Div 3s and the 1 and 2s, honestly. It is scary. It is scary, the speed difference. You really have to be on your P's and Q's and have your head up and be prepared. Typically, at most tracks we've ran, we've seen all of the classes be a little bit more competitive. We've even seen moments where the Div 1 and 2s have been more competitive than the Div 3 and been faster, like Targa Floria. But in this instance, the raw power makes a significant difference in speed, pace, lap time here. You've got Becky Ely there trying to chase down, that is Borman trying to chase down Gardner through. But yeah, it's those Div 3 cars are scary quick.
Yeah, that was Ross Smith who literally just roared past them cars. Whether or not it was assisted and they lifted, I'm not entirely sure, but it did look like he had some pace on him, did Ross Smith. He's sitting P3 overall, mind you. So Smith doing an absolutely stellar job. But this is Gardner and Borman battle as these guys continually to fight it out. It is one of the closest battles. Cameron Barker and Ely, they're about the same distance apart. Ross Smith and Timon Suvic now battling out for the 2 and 3 there.
Yeah, and of course, Suvic is stuck behind traffic, it looks like, and finally getting around there. But Ross Smith, has some good pace here. I know we talked to him before, and we said hopefully we'd be talking to him again. At this rate, we might be, because even though they're 45 seconds off of Wouter de Bruin, which I don't understand how it's such a gap between them. 45 seconds is a bit ridiculous. Make it 47 as it keeps going, but look at that. With the help of the traffic, Ross Smith is right on the back of Timon Suvic, and I'm sure that this battle will not take very long. It's Ferrari versus Shelby, and ladies and gentlemen, y'all know who I'm rooting for in the mix of things, not just because it is Ross Smith, but because it is a Shelby, and I do like a Shelby, and you'd see him flashing the lights a little bit, just letting Timon Suvic know that he's there, making sure he's looking, heads up, and kind of just warning him like, hey, I'm faster than you and I'm coming.
Yeah, he is. He's coming at an absolute rate of knots there. Ross Smith going right on to the back end of Timon Suvic. Absolutely incredible job through a left-right. It's going to be the right-hander at the end of this, and these guys are flying. So we'll have a look and see. Can we get the information on how fast they're actually going? Let's have a look on Ross Smith's car data.
They both just wrecked. Timon spun and took out Ross.
Suvic hit the hay bale. We come back into the middle of the road, and Ross has ended up in the Trackmaster's ambulance by the looks of it. As you can see, Suvic gets it all wrong, coming round the right-hander. He goes on, he misses the house, he spins in, hits Ross, sends Ross straight in to the Trackmaster. Is it a truck, an ambulance? But I can tell you now, Ross and Suvic have joined the list of DNFs, unfortunately, for Ross and Suvic. Another 2 cars we have lost here. Ben Borman is right behind Reese Gardner at the moment. You can see the calamity and chaos that happened with Timon Suvic and Ross Smith. How to fit? Oh, Timon! Oh my days! Was that John Uyan? That might have been John Uyan there. But Borman and Gardner still going at it, Brad, as well. Still fighting it out. And Ben Borman in that little Lotus is trying his absolute hardest here. Smith and Suvic now take the non-runners to 13.
Yeah, this track is painful. I'm just going to go ahead and quote, no mercy, you crash, you out. That is from YouTube chat. That is Tony McCoffin, who is in the chat saying that Stacy said poor Ross. And then Mike Bell said everyone is pouring their positive vibes into Wouter de Bruin. So 49 seconds, the lead out in front as it goes, and I think that's one of the biggest leads we've seen in Historic so far. We're lap 12 of 18, so we're 2/3 of the way through this race. It's been calamity. It's been chaos. It's been action. Paul has been in our ear for a lot of this race, saying there's a lot of racing going on. I'm trying, guys. So big credit to Paul where it's due. Someone decided to build a house on the side of a racetrack, which I don't understand. Why would you put your house there? It seems expensive to leave it there. But we are still watching action here. That's Chen, who is in first place and has Meyer 1.8 back. And then, of course, you do still have the Div 1-2 battle of Gardner and Borman that is continue to go through. And then, yeah, Ross and Subic now confirmed DNFs through. So, yeah, the Div 3s, Ross said it, if they survive, it'd be good. And I give them credit. They survived to lap 12.
They did. 6 laps remaining here. Ben Borman just topped out that Lotus at 237 kilometers an hour. Borman has. He's just topped out that Lotus at 237 miles an hour. And absolutely incredible speed from Ben Borman in that machine as he clears Reese Gardner finally. The difference is he going to be able to hold it, or is that little skateboard on wheels, should we say, going to join the rest of the 13 DNFs? He takes it round where sides, Fast and Furious Tokyo drift style from Ben Borman. Absolutely does another job over Gardner there, and a great job from these guys. They're continuing to hold these cars, Brad, but for how much longer is going to be the question.
That is the big question. For those of you who do not know kilometers and you know miles an hour, 237 kilometers is about 150 miles an hour. So that's ridiculously scary fast in these cars that are literally just sheet metal. Sheet metal on wheels with a big motor. That is scary. And Ben Borman has gotten a good run there on Reese Gardner. And it looks like up the hill, Reese Gardner just didn't get it right. It's starting to drop back a little bit, but isn't losing much time, but is showing a little bit slower. We'll see how that stands as they come up the hill here, and now they have the run down, and where they land, you can see
Just
trying to
down
find
into
something,
Lacombe.
but it's continuing to get slower.
Yeah, they're coming down into Lacombe at the moment here. So coming, through Lacombe they go. Bersenik is there a little bit faster on a lap time, 4 minutes 9 seconds 0.01, and then it's 4:09.292 for Gardner, 4:09.811. That is obviously what they've done over their best times on the last time. 4:10.235, 4:10.954, 4:09.811 in favour of Borman. There's the house that everybody's joined into so many times as these guys are on the run through Delacour and off into Marmaduke, the right-hander. So yeah, there's full-on action up through Bonneville. We go through the flags. We're going to come to a left as well. There's a car in front of us. We want to try and avoid that car as best as we possibly can. And let's see how this up. Gardner's got to run. He's got to run in that Alfa Giulia, topping it out at 2:33, 2:35, 38. 2:38. Just a kilometre quicker than that Lotus. It's not really making a difference as these guys hurling it on now. It's, God, man, they are absolutely rifling some speed. Stay off the Yates as Borman nearly ends up in the side of the house. But now Gardner, he can't go anywhere. He's just not topping out. He has not got a big enough top speed. I think it's literally, that's it. We think it's Ferreira ahead. It looks like John Mayer has done himself a cropper as well. Ferreira's there. Oh. Stay out the way. Oh. Man.
Oh.
Ferreira nearly influencing what was going on here. And Gardner's still trying to come up Borman once more. Now he's on the run. He's gone through Mustard, coming down the double right. It has just been incredible pace from these guys, Brad. And I don't think you really realise it until now.
Yeah, and now Marazzi is DNF. John Mayer is DNF there in the Div 3 AMs and is continuing to drop through. Borman and Gardner are keeping so much pace. Wouter de Bruin went into the pits, and now Nicholas Kirsten is the new pits. In the background, we've got Ferreira here, who is running, and that's the number 7. That is Bustanik, who went past, had to go on the grass to get past him, though. So you can see just the speed difference and how just plumb dangerous this track is. We're lap 13 of 18, and I have a feeling that my blood pressure has been up since the start of this race, not just from doing the commentary, but just how chaotic and dangerous this track can be. It's very, very impressive, and it kind of tells you why Spa is so much shorter now than it used to be. This is why, but here we go. Borman's going to try to get past Gardner again. This is going to be the hard braking. How does this work out for the Lotus? Oh, and has to take avoiding action.
Nose job for Borman. Gardner says no, no, no. And Bustanik's coming up behind him as well. So they're going to have to keep an eye out on Bustanik there. I do want to see John Mayer. He went off and ended up down the side of the mountain.
Oh.
John Mayer gets a slide on. He goes over the barrier, rolls the car, and then ends up rolling it down the side there and hits into a Marshall's hut. Yeah, Alan Gray went deep into turn 1 as well. But Dan Herlock has also gone deep into turn 1. But Marazzi, as you saw, just went and just flipped the car, unfortunately, for him. Oh, no, that was John Mayer flipping the car as well. So... Yeah, Borman's gone into the pit lane and has dropped back a little bit here. So Ben Borman, but at the moment, Nicholas Kirsten, who is the new one, the new driver here this evening, has gone and taken the lead. So Nicholas Kirsten doing a great job here as well, Brad, taking the lead here in his first race.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way to do it. Just show up and have a good race. And the big thing, I think, for Nicholas Kirsten has been just to be consistent, just comfortable, consistent, hasn't tried anything crazy. It's just been holding on. But, of course, you got Wouter de Bruin, who is 2.6 seconds back and has some good pace. 5 laps remaining here. Watch the cars coming out of the pit. Mind the cars coming out of the pit as you go up the hill. And we'll see if Mr. Wouter de Bruin can close out what is now going to be 3 seconds in climbing as he has to contend with traffic here.
Yeah, Wouter de Bruin in that second place. We'll keep an eye on it. He's topping well up nearly 7,000. No, he's yet nearly 7,000 RPM. And you will know that if you've watched any of the film of the Ford versus Ferrari, you know 7,000 RPM is when a driver becomes one with the car, and it just seems that nothing else matters.
Yeah, every week you've mentioned those films. I'm just going to go ahead.
I don't care.
All is saying it in the ears.
I don't care. It's a good film. And there's so many points that are in relation to what goes on in this series. And knowing that these 7,000 RPM is where this Daytona tops out, is incredible. As these guys you see on the screen, the replay, they're going into turn 1, just gone deep. There's quite a lot of people who have been in deep there as well. So, yeah. But it is, I think, the dangers exist, and you don't appreciate them until you see what they went through, Brad. There was nothing to these cars. There's not even seatbelts in some of them. Ben Borman in an open top Lotus, if he goes and hits the house, what's going to happen without a seatbelt?
Well, he'd probably not have a lot to worry about after that. He'd probably be having a worse day than me. So I'll give him that one. It'd be rough. It would be rough, but
rough.
They say they were built different back in the day, but racing an open top car, that is truly the moment there. Chin going past
that's a back marker.
63, a back marker. He's really just trying to keep DiMarzio, who is
Adam
off
Gray.
the circuit.
Yeah,
there.
He's just gone past Adam Gray. Peter Meyer here trying to close into DeMarzo. Peter Meyer is another C2 runner with JT Tammy. You see further in front the 66 of DeMarzo. Jerry Chen, with DeMarzo there trying to get past the back markers. He has made it through, and now DeMarzo is setting after Jerry Chen in front. So still battles to have, Brad, and we've only got 4 laps remaining.
Yeah, 4 laps remaining, and they're going to be a quick 4 laps, honestly. Like, this race has not felt hasn't felt long, it hasn't felt crazy. This has felt like a truly quick little historic race, and I'm kind of enjoying it. Yellow flags are out in Sector 3 here. I'm going to imagine that is somebody going off there at La Source. I had to guess. Possibly Daniel Herlock. We're going to see.
Yeah, Herlock's got deep into turn 1. Yeah, Dan Herlock has gone deep into turn 1, so that's why that issue has that situation's happened. So, but yeah, DeMarzo is also catching Chen. That's going to be an interesting one. And you can see Elko Busanic slowly bringing the gap down to Reese Gardner. And Ben Borman's a further 20 seconds back. Yeah, it's been a tough one for some of these guys, isn't it?
I think tough is putting it lightly. Some of these guys have had just a bloody awful day, for lack of a better phrase. And yes, I'm American who just said bloody awful, but you know, it's been quite rough for some of these guys to go through. I'm sure that Ross will talk to us after the race and tell us, you know, what happened there. But sometimes you have moments that there's just literally nothing you can do about. But we've got 32 cars still running. Now, granted, P32 is John Mayer, who is 3 laps down out of 46 cars that started. And again, that is a rare sort of instance here in VWSC, especially in the historic. It's very rare to see that many cars out and DNF'd and out, as you say, James, compared to how things are. Stacy says it's white knuckle driving on this track. Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. There's not a better way to describe how driving this track goes, especially if you're DeMarzo right here trying to chase down Chen and you're half a second back. Yeah, you're white knuckle and just gripping that wheel and praying that you can keep this car under you.
Absolutely. I think that's the thing they've got to be looking out for here as well, as they continue this action with not many laps remaining once again. So great racing going on. Becky Ely's DNF'd. She's out there as well. So yeah, absolutely amazing action. That is down there, and that is with the 55. Was that David Junt? Yeah, it was. She captured Junt, and both of them now, and that's exactly what I mean. Becky Ely in a Lotus, no seatbelt. Take care. See you later. Adios, senorita. And then Barker as well. He come in not far behind that, and he's gone and hit a fence. So if you go, Cameron Barker, if you keep an eye on Cameron Barker in the background there, these two collect each other. Then watch Cameron Barker come behind him at the top of your picture now, and he's gone and done the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. Cameron Barker is still running, but he has had, a big old moment. So, unfortunately, that's Becky Ely joins the DNF crew so far.
Yeah, that is
15
that's
cars. 15 cars. Man, that's a lot more than I think we expected. I think that was the thing. It just goes to show, though, how tough Spa is.
I think specifically this variation of Spa, and it's so weird because when you look at it,
That's Becky Ely.
Oh, that is painful. Oh, Ross said that cars out of fuel off track on the side of the track would be a problem, but for the driver that won overall last week, for them that, like, I mean, ouch.
Yes,
I don't even know what you say to that.
Collects Junt, and then Junt goes down. And then, as you say, as I said in the background there, Cameron Barker comes around and does the same thing.
That was insane, is what that was. Meyer has now DNF'd as well in the Div 3 AMs, so yeah. This has been an interesting race. We're 3 laps to go now, James. I don't know what to say to that. Becky Ely out, though, and Becky Ely seems to be just a consistent crowd favorite.
Yes, consistently. But after, obviously, her first win last week, then or the other week. Was it last week? It was the other week. A couple of weeks back. It was a big old thing. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to pick up on Jerry Chen and Barry DiMarzo as they're continually fighting it out here with 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, 2 laps to go here, and it's still Chen and DiMarzio, the big battle that we're watching. Watch this. DiMarzio is going to try to have a look here. They're going to have a car around to the outside they need to mind. We'll see. They get through no problem, but it is still Chen behind DiMarzio there as they keep going, and they get the run up the hill. Now they're into Le Calm, and they will just keep this run through as much as they can. And for Chen, it is just a matter of survival. Just stick behind. Don't do anything and risk both of your races, please, because you're 2 laps to go. You're just a handful of laps. And, DiMarzio slides it wide, and that's going to open the door for Chen. Now Chen's going to run it up. They're side by side here as they go down, and a little bit of a tap. And then you can see the 66 here of Chen is trying to look through, and now they are real close with each other.
Yeah, they are as they go down out of the source through El Rouge and Radiant. And Barry DiMarzo is in front of Jerry Chen, but Chen's not giving it up. DiMarzo doesn't quite cover the speed up through El Rouge. Onto the Camel we go. Now this is it. This is the moment where we see the pace here of DiMarzo, of Chen. It's 2:38 so far we've looked at from the top speeds there as well. Jerry Chen backs off away from DiMarzo. Backs off out of DiMarzo there. He was carrying a massive amount of overspeed. Through Lacombe they go. And you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there on your screen, there's a continued battle down in P19. Is that Tavanari and Oliver Day, I believe, in the bottom right-hand game there. So, David Judd, and Luca Tavanari there. But Jerry Chen, DiMarzo still scrubbing out. Chen's lost a little bit of speed and unfortunately is now up behind him. Mind you, say a little bit of speed there, Brad. He's still going over 215 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, a little bit of speed, a lot of bit of speed. I mean, it's kind of crazy just how much speed there is in these cars. I didn't expect them to move this fast, but I mean, man, they are roaring around this track, and with just a handful of laps to go, I mean, they're just doing. It's impressive. This is very impressive to me, and Storm Gang, hands down to you for bringing this mod out. Because
he's going to get him, Jerry Chen.
Here we go, Chen. Oh no!
He's coming back on track. He's trying to hold it. Oh, he's on fire! Oh my God! He went up in smoke. DiMarzo absolutely went up on fire. Come on, ambulance. We need a fire brigade. Barry DiMarzo is flaming hot at the moment. They've always got to get out the car. It's only when you don't get out the car. But watch this from Barry DiMarzo. Boom, he goes up like a kebab. He goes around the corner. Next thing you know, he is absolutely... well, we're not even looking at Barry. Barry's on the wall. That's Jerry Chen. There. I'm not sure why we're looking at Jerry. Barry's... There it is. You got to get out of the car, Barry. You got to get out of the car. And unfortunately, that was the end of Barry DiMarzo. So that battle went up in a flaming kind of way. And unfortunately for Barry, it was all a little bit Pete Tong for him. But I can tell you one thing, there is a still battle. Lalonde Barker and Alexander. I won't try and butcher your last name. Neka Horoshorkov. Horoshkov.
I mean, that's one way to phrase it.
Well, you phrase it any better than that.
No, I'm American. I am known that I can't pronounce anything, so no, I'm good. Thank you, though. Thank you for the offer. However, we go through. We're lap 17 of 18 here, James. We're not too far from the end.
No, not too far. And at the moment, Kirsten, the leader overall. There's been another moment. Becky Ely, believe it or not, is still running. She's just gone deep. No, okay, she's not running now. Oh, yes, she is. I can't work out what Becky's up to, but I think she may be out. She went deep into La Source. We can just see her in the background, and unfortunately, I believe she is out. So, unfortunately, there, unless she's back up and going, we think she's still running, going. Tavanari and Juntner, as these guys continue to fight out with Gilles Lalonde in the mix.
Yeah, and you can see drivers are very willing to use all of the track and then a little bit off the side as well to try to keep things moving and keep things going here as we have Tavernari and Jean that are just 0.8 of a second separated, which is a very, very close battle here. We do have some people going in the pits, and we've got a replay coming up here, and that's a slide in La Source. A lot of issues with La Source all the way through this race, and I feel like every time we catch a replay, it's either something catastrophic and somebody burns their car to the ground and probably does not survive the wreck, or it's just a gentle slide through La Source. Either way, one or the other. Barker here trying to get the run on Nikorshkov and is doing a fairly good job, honestly.
There he is. He's trying to hold on that. Cameron Barker in the Alfa Romeo Giulia, finding the speed. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this finally develops. We've got a yellow in sectors 3. I can tell you now that's John Meyer going deep into La Source, so we don't have to worry, as we've seen that multiple times today. There, with that happening as well. But at the moment, Nicholas Kirstens is opening up the gap here, Brad. He's not even being caught. He's opening up the gap, as we can see the Leka Horoshkov, and the Cameron Barker battle on your screen.
Yeah, this battle is just continuing to go through here with Alexander, trying to just keep Barker back as much as possible. You can see, actually, I think the gap is opening up a little bit here as we're on lap 17 of 18. We'll see just how things go through. Not much time left here in this race. Kirsten has opened up the gap up in the lead to De Bruin there by 8.5 seconds. Final lap has officially started now. So, and Borman's had to go in the pits in the lead of Div 1 too.
Final lap. That's going to put Gardner in the lead for Div 1-2. Chen's going to lead Div 3. Kirsten's Div 3 Ham. Sorry, Kirsten's going to lead the pros. Div 1-2 leader will be Oliver Dancourt. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on where Nick Kirstens is as well, so we don't miss going over the flag. He's just going up through Lacombe at the moment. And Walter De Bruin is going to get second place. Absolutely incredible job from some of these guys here throughout the evening. Obviously, the ones that have finished, of course, the ones that haven't, well, I'm sure they'll come back and learn next time.
Yeah, this, I think overall everyone can take this as a learning experience because it's been a very, very eventful race for some people more than others. Don't get me wrong, but overall, I mean, it's been a good race. We'll see where things kind of shape and go forward as it goes. We're lap 18 of 18 here as we're watching the leader, who is just absolutely stomping the competition. It seems like whoever has been in the overall lead has just been pulling a gap, and it's been a case of just, do they lose it on their own?
Yeah, it's going up through Bourneville at the moment there as well. So it's been a very interesting run over here tonight. I think for us, it's a bit of an eye-opener, really, Brad, because we've never seen a race with so many non-finishers ever over this season so far.
Yeah, it proves that it can happen. That's the biggest thing for me is, like, that's not something that you ever expect to see, but it can happen. And again, it's extremely rare here in VWSC, but it happened. So you just have to remember.
There's 16 people, by my calculation. 16 are out there. Kirsten's coming in through Stavlo, double right-hander for the final time. Then he goes on that run through turn 14, through La Carrera, and then 15, 16 before he goes on that run down through Blanchimont. And I can safely say this has been one of the most chaotic evenings of racing I think I've watched here ever. As it's cut, I thought he was going to get it all a little bit peaked. I thought he was going to get it all a little bit peaked tone there. As we just get a glimpse of Paul predicting the future on your screen. So let's see what Kirsten's can do. Through La Carrera he goes, now on the run down from Carrera down into Blanchimont. And this is going to be it very, very shortly from him. From Nick Kirstens, he's done a great job considering it's his first race here this evening.
Yeah, honestly, it's been very impressive. And, you know, if you're going to show up for a first race and win, it kind of cements your name in a very good position. Keep it together for the last little bit of this lap. And, yeah, you can very safely say that you showed out, and we'll see where things go from there as we see going around here. But 115 has been virtually unstoppable today. It's been very, very comfortable.
Yeah, he comes around the source now. It is going to be Nick Kirstens. He is going to take the checkered flag for the Div 3 winner. Nick Kirstens is going to lead. He's going to take it by 9.6 seconds. Absolutely stellar job. Kept it on the racetrack, did Nicholas, and he has come away with the victory. Absolutely unbelievable. It looks like Jerry Chen there. This is going to be Gardner. He's going to lead the Div 1 2s. Gardner will come over the line and it's going to take the victory in the Div 1 2s. Where is Jerry Chen? He's coming down into... Where is he gone at the moment? He's on... down through double right Stavlo, I believe. So he's got half the circuit left to go. What about Oliver Dancourt? Has he got him finished yet? We'll try and find Oliver and see. Or Santiago Dancourt, sorry. Nope, he is halfway round the circuit. So that will be Jerry Chen should come over the line first in the Div 3 AMs. So Jerry Chen will come over the line first in the Div 3 AMs. An absolutely stellar job. Basically, Brad, you can safely say, right, if you finish the race, you've had a good one.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway from me from this race. If you finished, you did just fine. And you can just relax and let that be the lesson of the day. You finished the race. That's all you needed to do to have a good day. So kudos to everyone that did.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with you. I think just to finish, you've done amazing. Right? Because there's a lot of people that didn't. You know, and there's a lot of big drivers that has not, as Jerry Chen comes over the line now. He's going to take the Div 3 and win. Jerry comes down for the final time. Man with a checkered flag is waving. He's not in the middle of the road, though. Normally, I thought they were in the middle of the road in this old days, like stood next to the pit lane. I was quite surprised that he's up on a mountain. But there we go. And then we've got Santiago Dancourt, who's still out on the racetrack. He's going to come over the line and take the Div 1, 2 AM win. Is Santiago. So a stellar job from him. That is not a battle for position. However, if that 151 took him out on the final lap, that would be hell to pay for. As you see the blimp there running on electricity in them days where they used to attach the nose to telegraph towers to charge up. There you go, a bit of useless information for you once more. So there we go.
I don't know if I'd call any of that useless information, but we're waiting here. Please. We're waiting on the last cars to cross the line here, and we'll see how this all finally plays out in the end. It goes to show just how big this track is, though. The fact that everything is so spread out for these guys.
I agree. I think that's the thing. It's tough, isn't it? This whole race has been tough. You know,
It's been extremely tough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I don't think you could sit back and say that they haven't necessarily tried to do well there. It's just been tough. And Santiago Dancourt's going to come over the line and do an incredible job. So well done, Santiago. Ben Borman did get a penalty in that and had to serve a drive-through. So that's quite interesting by the looks of it. So Santiago Dancourt comes over the line. He wraps it up for the Div 1 and 2. So there we go. We'll bring you up the results on your screen. Nick Claessens is your winner with Wout de Bruin in second. Alexander Schultz in third. JT Tammy in fourth. Then Jerry Chen in fifth. Jerry winning his Div 3 AM class. Then we've got Magnus Dahlgren and Ethan Funk. George Angelidis takes second place there. Reese Gardner, he is the winner here as well of his class. And then Elko Businic rounds out the final one. Going forward, Sen Stoffmel finished in 11th. Ben Borman, there we go. Sen Softel in 11th. Ben Borman 12th. Alexander in 12th. Oliver Day in 13th. Cameron Barker 14th. Gilles Lalonde 15th. Luca Tavanari in 16th. Davidson in, where's 17? Or am I gone missing? 16, 18 for Herlock. Scar Pope in 19th. I believe it's 20th for Scar Pope, but there we go. We got no 17s, just 2 18s, so maybe they come over the line together. Let's move on to the next one. We got John Uyan there with Neil Wood. Santiago Dancourt 22nd, Adam Gray 23rd. Eric Monet in 24th, gone on holiday. 25th in Monet, Fernando Ferreira in 26th, Luke Goodlife in, well, he DNF'd in the end. James Bowders in 27. Then we got the DNFs. This is where the list starts of incredible drivers. Barry DiMarzio DNF'd. Peter Meyer DNF'd as well. So that's the first set. John Meyer DNF'd. Well, he's 15 laps down, it says, but I'm not quite entirely sure he finished. Filippo Marazzi DNF, Ross Smith, Timon Suvic, Tony McCoffin, Mike Bell, Craig Pullen, Alfredo Cabrera, Pavel Chernoborov, Tom Mountjoy, Tom Lane, Bradley Sellers, Jason Whitehead, Oliver Newman, and Eduardo Benica all did not finish this race. And that is huge for some of these people.
Yeah, that is that's going to prove very detrimental for some of them because, yeah, that is an unusual thing to see that many DNFs. I don't know how that's going to end up working out long term, honestly.
I don't know.
I don't know
I can tell you one thing, though. The points are going to get proper jiggled around. Whoever is going to come out on top now is going to be... You just had to finish. That was the thing. You just had to finish the race. And the people that did, well, they've done absolutely exceptional there as well. We're going to ready to have a chat with Reese Gardner. And Reese, of course, tick the Div 1-2 win in class. Reese, welcome in, bud. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be happier, honestly. I mean, I've had a rough season up to this point, but finally getting that win for the Alpha feels good.
Yeah, we saw an unprecedented 16 DNFs. How did you survive out there, Reese?
With great difficulty, because the Alpha is already quite an unstable car. I remember you guys commentating the Daytona race and wondering why I was pulling out of the draft. It was because it was all I could do to keep the car straight. So, here at Spa, obviously very twitchy everywhere, so I just focused on hitting my marks and staying safe. I didn't realize that with that many DNFs here, but Spa is a car killer, so you have to focus on survival.
Oh, mate, we've seen it all. We have seen people hit the house. We've seen people in the house. We've seen people on fire. Barry DiMarzio was on fire near the house. We've seen people go into the fields, down the hill. We've seen it all. There isn't one thing I don't think that we haven't seen, to be honest with you, this evening. But for you, you survived. And that is the thing, isn't it? Surviving Spa goes a long way to getting championship points.
Yeah, absolutely it does. And I think I haven't really maximized my championship points thus far, you know. I had the unfortunate incident at Daytona. A timing glitch took me out of the running at Sebring, and I'm just terrible at Targa Florio. So, you know, the first 3 rounds of the season, obviously a lot of missed opportunities, but maybe this is the sign now that I've finally got my season on track.
Yeah, it is, and it'll be a massive gain for you there. So well done to you, Reese. Thanks so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I want to shout out my chat, twitch.tv/Southpaw Racer. Also, Suit Speed as well, Sim Racing Gloves. Certainly helped to get me to victory right there. And big thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. And, of course, to the admin team as well. This is a fantastic league to take part in.
Awesome stuff, Reese. Thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. And I look forward to seeing how you get on as your season progresses.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Take care. All right, next up will be Jerry Jen. Jerry taking that div-free AM win. Jerry, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm good. Thanks.
You good?
I'm very good, yeah. That was an intense race.
Yeah, it was. You survived, buddy. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah, Barry and I had a great fight there at the end. I think he braked a little late for Mazda and he lost it. But yeah, up until then we were just intense every lap.
Did you see what happened to Barry after, or did you not see what happened?
Yeah, so we went into Mazda side by side, the fast kink, and I was on the inside. I started braking and he braked, and I think he braked a little too hard, or maybe he dropped the wheel, and he slid across the track right in front of me, hit the left side bank, then spun off to the right side, hit the wall, and I think that blew up his engine.
Yeah, he ended up on fire.
Nice
Flames aplenty.
barbecue for the Belgians.
Yeah, he could have got out he could have done some marshmallow roasting while he was there, as long as he got out the car, of course. But look, Jerry, I think that was a great battle, and you know, you did absolutely amazing. It's points in the championship for you, cementing your lead that you've got over George Angelides. How tough is the season going to be? Because there's some very interesting racetracks here.
Yeah, it's just, you know, that was my goal coming in today. I knew George was on pace faster than me, so I just figured I'd keep it clean. I got the pole, which was good because then I could kind of control the pace up front. I had a pretty good battle with Pete and Barry, and then so I just kind of keep it clean. You know, I think at Le Mans will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just gonna, I think if I just stay close to George for the rest of the races, I think I should be good. So just not DNFing for the rest of the season.
Awesome, Jerry. Well, thanks so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, just Barry and Peter Meyer. We had some awesome battles there at the beginning, first stint, so it was awesome racing.
Awesome stuff, Jerry. Thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing how you get on Le Mans.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Right, and next up is your winner out right here. The man who's taken the div-free win, Nicholas Kirsten, who will be joining us in the booth. Nicholas, welcome in.
Hello. Thanks.
Hi, how are you? Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, buddy. How are you, dude? How are you feeling after that win?
Yeah, what's a tough race? Yeah, honestly, I'm not entirely happy because was a collision in the first lap where I think I've taken out another competitor. So yeah, sorry for that. Misjudged the situation there halfway through the first lap, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, of course, happy.
Yeah, of course. You took the victory. You did have that collision. I was trying to think who it was with. I can't remember who it was with. But yes, you did have that collision. Look, you moved on. Come into the series today. This is your first race in these cars. How did you adapt to racing in these cars for the first time?
No, actually, I also did one of the test races and the Daytona race. Retired. Yeah, but I think the cars are great to drive. I've some experience in historic sim racing. Raced in 1954 cars throughout the last season. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, Nick, I look forward to seeing. Are you going to be at Le Mans, do you think?
I'm not sure whether I can make it, but I will try. Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Excuse me, sorry, didn't understand.
Anyone you would like to shout out? Anybody you would like to thank before we let you go?
So just thanks for everyone for the great race. Both the great races I've taken part so far. Yeah, great series, great racing, and I'm looking forward to do more races throughout the year. Thanks.
Awesome stuff, Nick. Thank you so much for joining us there, bud. And hopefully we look forward to seeing you on as many circuits as you can get to. But for now, take care, buddy.
Yeah, bye.
Well, there you go, Brad. Another race over and done with. And I think you can safely say it was an interesting one.
Yeah, that was a fun race. I liked Spa. The layout that we ran, of course, is unique, and I like it.
You like it?
I like it. That's about all I've got for it. I like it. I'm really, really enjoying the 1964 VWSC, and I'm gonna hold my breath for Le Mans.
That's going to be an interesting one, but I think that's going to wrap it up here, guys, as well. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody that come in there as well. Stacey, yes, I did like your advertisement of JPB on the side of the car. However, you did crash with the logo pointing upwards. So, we might have to work on the placement. Put it on the bonnet. It'll make you go forward there next time. Kim D, thanks so much. Tony was in chat as well after his incident. So was Mike Bell, Nathaniel, and everybody else for joining us. Sorry if I've missed anybody there as well. But for now, guys, that's going to wrap it up here in the JPB booth. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Bradley Dalton. I've had Paul Glover in my ear. But for now, guys, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.